but I do not know if everyone would like the fighting mechanics or anything else like that.
Hmm.
I do like how they're constantly, I just had to do another survey today.
Kill everything you
They're constantly
encounter.
wanting
Do not
feedback on
relent.
updates and what to
Intentions
change and how
never
to
die
make it
for
more
me.
user friendly.
Hmm.
Because literally the questionnaire I asked today was talking about the complications of the menus and how deep they go or how many times you have to hit a button just to get to the setting that you need to get to. Which is one of my annoyances. Like you have an
Sweet.
event screen with 6 events going on that you can collect rewards from. Then you got the campaign that you can collect your rewards from. Then you got more rewards that you just unlocked because you just unlocked rewards in another screen. You literally will spend at least a good 15 minutes just collecting your daily rewards.
That's very typical of Asian games.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not all in one menu either. And I have one menu that it tells me that it has stuff for me to collect, but I have no idea where the fuck it's at. And they don't make it sometimes it's like, you hit square to collect all rewards. Okay, that's simple. And then I go to another screen. There's no square. I have to then navigate over to a little button on the right that says show rewards, and once you click show rewards, then you can collect all the available rewards. I'm like, what? It's like two different people designed the accept button. But
Again, feels pretty typical.
oh, okay. This is it's not my first experience with this type of game. Like I said, the other game I thought we would get into, but I seriously couldn't get past playing it more than one mission a day, if that.
Hmm.
But yeah. Wow, this vault is wait, do we have two vaults? No, we have a Mirage. Okay. You know what? I think my Atlas is just gonna sit around and look pretty until he's actually needed.
A new data conduit is open. Our
I know
experiment
vault
moves
falls
to
off
a new
fairly quick here.
zone.
But no, I think when Anthony comes back from Mexico, I think I'll mention the game to him, see if what he thinks about it. Because it's like Warframe where there's a little bit of fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just think it'll be an uphill battle if we try to get Wood to play it, because he's boycotting AI.
yeah, I know. Which is why I would stop talking about it. It's not worth it. I know it. I know the things behind it. Know everything else. And they even had a questionnaire about the NPCs' interactions and things like that, and improvements, and if they should, not have as many. And so, I mean, they're acknowledging issues that people have mentioned, I guess. So, it's. I feel like they're not just doing a cash grab because they're actually trying to get input. Which, unlike the last
Sure.
game I played where they didn't ask anyone's input, and it really just felt like they didn't give two shits, just buy their stuff and then move on.
Yes, but just take everything you said about asking for input and change it to making you work for free so that they can sell what you worked on.
Yeah, well, the same thing can be said about Warframe, though.
How?
Well, everyone is wanting refunds on Soulframe, and the original developers are the ones who made Warframe are now making Soulframe, and they aren't learning from it, and people are pissed off.
That sounds opposite of...
And all the work that, you know, it took to make Warframe the way it was, because Warframe was not usable from what Wood has described, where you literally had to pay real money to get more lives when the game first came
Dark
out.
Sector?
No, when Warframe first came out, he said you didn't have free
I
revive.
trust you will be able to complete this study, Hunter.
So the game came a long way. I assume, you know, they didn't just make these changes themselves, they listened to feedback.
Still, that's different. That was a free game, and people were able to shape it into a good game. What we're talking about with AI is they're going to run this game for free, learn from everybody, and then create a paid game based on everyone's work.
I don't know. They don't have, I mean, I haven't really done research on any other games that they've done or the history of the company, so I don't know if it's going to be a one-shot or if they're actually trying to make a complete user base or trying to grow with it. Because, you know, trying to make a one-shot type of game, I mean, what's the point in, you know, making updates and whatnot if you're just going to do that? I don't know, is the thing. If they had a history of doing it, I don't know, because I didn't research the company.
Yeah, it's just what Wood and Athena were talking about.
I know, and I mean, that's also why it's like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that, you know, maybe they're trying to make a decent game. I mean, do you want to talk shit about a company who comes out with a game, makes it free, and, you know, they're not from the US, so they don't follow the same, you know, logic. Yeah, it has a lot of problems when it comes to the language barrier and losing shit in the context, and also, I guess, cultural differences when talking to people. But that's just the dialoguing. But I don't know how they're going to come out the game. And besides the fact, which may explain, you know, Athena's impression when I said it, I wasn't aware it was a Chinese game.
A data conduit is open. Go now.
Most political people and most assholes, you know, have that negative disposition toward China. So the fact that, you know, they issue a free game and then use AI to gather information, la-da-da-da-da, definitely, you know, that part of society would be eating that shit up as a means to, you know, assert control. I've heard it several times from people that, you know, they're just waiting to take over the world and, you know, bring down society because, you know, communism, la-da-da-da-da. Again, I try to ignore, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt until otherwise find the other option. I'm trying to give the game the benefit of the doubt. I haven't come across, hey, a 100% paywall. I know Wood tried to make a point saying, oh, someone paid $50 for this code. It's like, yeah, Warframe has like, what, $120 packages? And apparently it comes with missions and everything else, so yeah, someone paid for it. and apparently with this boat, when you bring it out, it alerts the whole server and invites everyone in the server over, and they all get bonuses and free gifts and everything else. It's like a party boat. I get an alert. I haven't been on it yet. I just get the alert. So, I don't know. If I knew more about the company, maybe I could make a judgmental vote toward it, but I don't know anything about the company. I tried to find out some stuff about the company, but then I lost interest, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know that the statement is about the company, but the way AI is used.
And again, I get how it's used like that, but then I'm also looking at it, what if they're just using it to make it more immersive with the player's base? Honestly, I think it's a horrible idea because humankind sucks, and giving them free reign in a video game to talk to an NPC any way that they want, people have already figured out that they can, you know, completely lie and, you know, control the conversation like you do with an AI. Oh yeah, you remember, oh, we're long friends, you know, I know your family, la da 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 da, even though, you know, you've just met the person. They don't have strict parameters on the chat. So, they need to tighten that shit up, but the way I see it is, are they using the AI to create more of an immersive playing field for NPCs? Because that was one thing that I do dislike, and I know, and I'm gonna butcher their name again, Viva La Gaming, or whatever it's called?
Dirt League.
Dirt League. Why do I call it something completely different? What the hell?
Viva La Dirt League.
Oh, why do I say, again, why do I keep saying it differently though? But they, I mean, they brought it out, they've had a couple skits regarding that, to where it's like, I think the one skit I remember is, he got assigned a quest to go into the house and kill the pests. He gets inside and there's just kids inside. And then he couldn't leave. I mean, that's the problem with some, you know, games. You are locked into and forced into those dialogues and those choices, and you have no sense of actual choice. You know, sort of like some of Warframe's dialogues, like really picking the Lotus's name, like really picking, you know, the dark or light choices. Are they ever going to have a factor in this game? Probably not. So, I don't know. They could be using it for evil. They could be using it for data mining. They could be using it for all of that. I mean, like every other big corporation is doing. Or they could have just used it as a way to make a game more immersive without spending shit tons of money in research and focus groups on how different cultures would respond to different questions and scenarios.
Really?
Because, I mean, the US would respond to a request differently than an Asian culture would.
Yes. But also, you immediately say right after that, it's not what you want.
Yeah. But they also don't force it upon you. The main story doesn't have that. It's only NPCs that don't actually have a matter in the situation that really has the chat dialogue. And it's actually a secondary option called chat. And there's always an option above it that has the traditional pick your choices type of communication. The other downside is when you do get side quests, they don't give you locations. Like, I apparently was working on a side quest today that I had no idea I was doing. And it was just from overhearing a conversation about some people losing some of their, you know, their family heirlooms. And I overheard the conversation, and I'm like, okay, I overheard this. They didn't give me a quest or anything, like, you know, any other freaking game would. Nope. And it's like I just started randomly finding, okay, well, here is, you know, here's a totem, here's this. I'm like, okay. And then it's like I go back and talk to them. It's like, you can gift them this object you just found. I had one person accuse me of stealing, and I'm like, if I stole it, why would I bring it back to you? Well, I'm gonna call the authorities. I'm like, okay. Why? No, like I said, I don't know entirely. I'm trying to give the game a benefit of the doubt. On my way.
Sure.
Oh, you're up.
I'm up.
I was not fast enough. I still want to make a Necro Soul Punch build, just for shits.
Nice. I keep getting low on energy. But big move.
Dude, help. Oh, are you rewinding time?
Yes.
Don't do it for a couple. What happens is sometimes you'll get stuck into a
data
a
conduit
rut,
is open.
so where every time you rewind time, you're actually losing more energy, so no matter how much you collect, and if you're anything like me, you will drop a flower right before or right after you start the time rewind. So when you're coming back, you take up all the orbs, but as you rewind time, you go back to what you had energy-wise right at the point of casting. So anything that you've collected now are all gone.
I make sure I'm full when I cast it.
Oh. Well, at least you're better than me at that then. I always forget to look. What the hell? Does, like, no one want to stay anymore?
Nope. I don't know that we got something worthwhile or anything, but no, people don't stay more than a couple ways.
Ooh.
Yeah, I still don't understand how Protea's bomb works.
I don't either. You told me it can actually kill people. I don't recall ever killing people with it.
Well, when we were doing Kome a bunch, you got it up to like 4 million. And you were doing 90% of the team damage.
Oh, it wasn't from the bombs, dude. What I was doing in Kome was I was throwing my grenades, reversing time, because then that strips all armor, and then I'd leap directly into the air, as high up as possible, and then I would launch 3 of my guns up in the air, and they would shoot down and do headshots on people.
Okay.
That's how I was doing that. I didn't never rely on the bomb because I could never figure it out. But yeah, whenever I cast my guns, I would always be up high, so no one could hide from them, and they couldn't be blocked by assets or anything. That's how come I would always, like, sometimes die in weird locations. But yes, I always made sure my grenades were scattered everywhere to make sure all the armor was stripped, because of that a mod that strips armor when you're in your fort.
Yeah, I got it.
Which, weirdly enough, I don't think a lot of people use for Protea.
I have opened a new data conduit.
Yeah.
Proceed immediately.
I do know her gun itself can strip armor.
Yeah, it's the same temporal mod.
Yeah, with fire procs, so...
Well, no, it's, isn't it the augment for the 4th makes it so the cannon or grenades strips armor?
I think it just makes the grenade strip the armor, but the cannon naturally strips armor even if you're not in your 4th because of the fire procs, and if you're using Arcane Intensify?
Archon Intensify, yes.
It doubles it. Yeah, which you're stripping armor really quickly on enemies.
Right.
I was slow then.
Or I was fast.
Yeah. But I do wonder, I think Hotshot is only, unfortunately, with, second, oh, I think it may be abilities, so maybe Hotshot would work on it. It would increase the critical chance. But does the guns themselves have a critical? I don't know. I haven't looked at Proteus since Hotshot actually came out. It works for Mesa.
Yep. Well. I still think when you were playing Kome, your bum was doing something.
Maybe. I just know my placement, like, you just placed your gun down there at the bottom, and it was hitting a wall over here. Yeah, I just know whenever I do that, I'm always try to place it up high. It's harder in these rooms, but I always, when out inside, it's always up as high as possible. That's how I'd always do so well in the index. Not index.
And not Conclave.
Although I haven't tried Protea in Conclave, I wonder how she works. I almost want to play some of the new players in Conclave if they've added them, but anyway, I'm getting distracted. Circuit. I'm glad we both came to that realization at the same time.
Yep. Maybe we should try playing the Conclave. I have very much not.
Either of I. And unfortunately, I mean, the problem with playing it is we'll end up like Wood, to where then we're soft-locked into a higher category there, too.
And we'd be soft-locked into the same one as Wood?
Yes. Because remember when those events come out, Wood has a hard time finding people. And the reason why he gets kicked out of the party is because he's not in the same rank.
I thought it was just fucked up.
Now that could be too. I mean, it is. I'm surprised they haven't revisited the Conclave at all, but. But I do know there's a bunch of cosmetics and things like that in the Conclave that you can earn. And I do miss when I first discovered the Conclave. I was decent with it. And I swear this game, the longer you play it, the worse you get with the Conclave.
Yep.
When you first start the game and you know nothing about it, you're really good at it. I was Mag running around with my little Skana, and I was hanging onto the ceiling waiting for people to walk by, drop down behind them and just kill them, and then leap back up at the ceiling and do a Spider-Man. Everything just feels harder now, and I know that, at least from, if I remember what Wood said, the starter frames and everything actually was boosted in the Conclave versus the Prime. Like the starter weapons, regular Skana has higher stats than Prime or
Proceed immediately.
Prisma. Yeah, this is gonna be a crappy map. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Now I don't have any energy, but I'm already at my armor limit. I should have be able to cast my abilities unlimited. Maybe it was a melee bubble, I don't know. Did you ever finish updating your, or leveling up your archgun? Or mushroom?
Possibly not. Yeah, it might be rank 29 still.
Wait, are you in this? No, you weren't in here. I've seen some weird visual effects that I'm thinking was you for a second, but it clearly was not you because you're not on this side of the map. Okay, I think us splitting up like this is working out well. You get all the spawns over there, I get all the spawns over here, and we're actually not losing.
Sound more surprised.
Well, we are at zone 10, which is where they start screwing you. Really hoping for a small map the next level. Two seconds.
Specimens must experience unmatched stress. Increase your effort. Enter the conduit now.
I wonder with all the time traveling and everything. Oh, it's this map. That we, man, it's infested. This is the end. That we are doing. Wonder if we'll actually see Samaris and Ortis in their Orcan state.
Interesting.
I mean, they appear not to be afraid of doing time traveling shit, so.
Yeah.
So, one punch I can gain 3%. While looking for more people, I lose 6%.
I'm out of energy.
Sorry. I could give you a woo and you'd have energy, but I keep forgetting. Oh, that was bullshit. I punched a whole group of people and it gave me nothing out of that one.
Hunter, you exceed expectations. You are
Or
far
else.
more exciting and complex
Yeah,
than
more than
any
yesterday,
specimen
though.
in my sanctuary.
I think yesterday, what, we got 3?
Yeah.
Cool, my syndicates are now maxed rank, so when that next prime drops, I can cash